Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horace.
Hey there, Chris. We're here again. We are almost at the end now. We're at the end of the week. We're on episode 30, season 2 of Love Island USA. And where would you like to start today, sir?
I'd just like to say, Dave, my phone hasn't rang yet from the producers of the show. We will be reading some emails later, but
I had to listen back to that, and I still, when you're saying, Dave, now you come in, I still have no idea. Even though I know it's coming, I'm like, I still don't know what he wants me to say there. And Miller High Life on Twitter, said, I love the latest episode. The audition had me cracking up.
That wasn't what I wanted, people.
It was funny to listen back to, though, to be fair.
It was unintentionally funny because it's your, like, what the fuck are you doing, Chris? You've not told me what you're doing, and I don't know what to do.
I'm not sure which one of us is Alan Partridge in this, but I think both of us a little bit.
Anyway, Dave, and we got some great emails for later. But anyway, let's talk about Carrington, Dave, and the aftermath of Kirsten leaving. I thought that was the strangest person to pick to do a cheers for Kirsten. And then we did get, I think it was Sally go, and Julia. It's like, no one cares about Julia. But what did you think about that? Because I thought that was a bit distasteful, to be honest.
I thought it was weird. I thought the last person who should be giving that speech was Carrington. It's never really sat right with me. I didn't really see why did they split? Other than, Carrington loves himself. He knew he was going into Casa Amor, so just wanted to, have a bit of fun. And so didn't really want to tie himself down to one person. It seemed like a genuine connection. Remember when Mackenzie was, all off for running in the hideaway and other people were saying like, well, shouldn't we have a vote on it? And, maybe Carrington and Mackenzie want to go in there. So they seemed strong at that time. But I thought Carrington's words were really interesting. He held his glass up and he referred to her as a strong-willed, independent woman. Now, in particular, the first part of that, strong-willed, I just wondered, is that it? Is she just a bit too strong-willed for him? He wants someone who's a bit more submissive, maybe. I just thought it was. I thought it was weird him giving the speech, and I thought his choice of words was weird as well.
Yeah, I mean, the classic camera work though, Dave. It pans to fucking Laurel and Laken, and they're just like looking at him like, dick, to say shut up, but I didn't buy any of it. Dave, he was saying all the cliche stuff. She's a strong-willed woman. Yeah, whatever, Carrington. You fucking bled her out to dry there. You've absolutely fucked her off. You've pissed about with everyone else. And Dave, I know Terence is going to go for me today, but we need to talk about that a bit later about the game. But I mean, what did you see else with the couples, Dave? Because I was just transfixed with Carrington tonight.
Yeah,
It's just
so
unbelievable.
again, a little bit like yesterday's episode, I felt there was lots of little things going on. So again, just in that aftermath of the recoupling, after that whole speech, we see Carrington and Laurel have a bit of a sit down in the spill the tea area. I'm going to go off on a little bit of a boring tangent here, Chris, but something that occurred to me when I was watching this is how 100% has somehow become a substitute for yes, I agree. It's weird, and it only jarred with me. I only thought about it because Carrington asked, Laurel whether she had any doubt whether he'd pick her or Lakin, and she went, it was 50-50, 100%. That was fucking with his mind. He was like, what, 100%? You were certain I'd pick you? Yeah. And I thought, it is a bit of a weird thing to say, isn't it? So if you were trying to explain it to someone whose first language wasn't English, you wouldn't equate like yes, I agree to 100%, would it? It's become shorthand for yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah, it has. And someone who does speak fluent English still don't understand it, Dave. So fuck knows somebody.
But you and I both say it. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure I say it.
Yeah, we do.
And
we
I
do.
just sat back and thought about it. I know it's not very entertaining, Chris, but it was just something that I thought was a bit weird. I also thought, she seemed genuinely happy, but then she asked him when they were in bed, are you happy? and he was just like, you know, and I don't think it was the most convincing thing in the world. And you know, in relation to that, you've got Lakin. She ended up with Bennett, and if I didn't know better, I would think, you know, I was bought in. She's like so happy because that she's saying all the words how happy she is to be coupled up with Bennett, and it's like fuck off.
Yeah, I was thinking that. She's like, "You were the one I really, really wanted to strike up a conversation at the start." And I'm thinking, "Fuck me, it's fucking Pinocchio here." I was waiting for it to fucking nose as big as mine, Dave. Absolutely talking shit on toast. Bennett's there going, "Yeah, me too as well." I'm like, "Do you two really fucking believe that anybody watching this after 5 weeks of Love Island and these fake bullshit romances is going to believe that somebody the day before was absolutely gushing over Carrington and pining for Carrington to pick her? And there's not wrong with that. There was a connection there. He explored it. She explored it. It looked like it was on. And the day after, I mean, fuck off. It's not like when Moira was kissing fucking Freckles, wasn't it? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so made up. And I'm saying that as if I hate the show. I love it, but I love just calling it out because you sat there thinking, fucking, you really think the public are going to believe that utter shit? I don't, Dave. I don't. I know. Oh, Dave. One thing I want to say about is as well, there was a situation there where Johnny and Sally was sat by the pool together. And you know, like obviously, I always go on about this like I was some big time. I wasn't. I was a fucking bottom of the rung TV extra. The rest of the crew behind, the rest of the gang, they were being told what to do. They weren't even talking, Dave. There's no background noise. And Sally and Johnny are having this conversation from nowhere, and they're all behind, like laughing and joking. And you could clearly see that they were like miming. And I was like, oh, this is so fucking made up and fake. Oh, I was waiting for him to go, cut, let's do that again. It was proper shit. That was really, I don't know whether you noticed it, but it just
No,
stuck
no.
out for me so much. Yeah, you'd have to see it again. It was so fucking fake.
Yeah, I must admit, this series, as much as I've enjoyed it, some of the scenes in particular have stood out. Like I say, when you realise that everyone is shaped, sat perfectly, you know, for the camera position. You know, the essentially the camera's that fourth wall, isn't it? And
Yeah.
yeah, a few things I think they've messed up there and just made it a bit too obvious that it's all a bit set up. But yeah, I mean, sticking on Sally and Johnny though, what did you make of that conversation that Sally and Johnny were having? You know, and she was kind of opening up. She was talking about a mum who's had cancer twice, and you know she hasn't been able to work. I think she said since she was 16. So, what did you make of that exchange? Because I've got some thoughts that might not be that popular.
He breaks her heart, Dave, and I'm going over there to sort him out. He better not fucking ruin that girl's life. She deserves a break, Dave. Now go on, let me hear what you've got to say, Mr. Horrocks. Go
Well,
on.
obviously, you know, particularly in Casa Amor, we weren't Johnny's biggest fans. And then when he came back and he's given her the minimal amount of information, you know, we haven't been convinced by Johnny, but we have been on the Sally train. I still think there's a few things with Sally and the way that she talks, you know, behind people's back that I don't particularly like, but because she's so fun and bubbly, she gets away with it. Um, but what I found odd, right? She is describing a real world problem there, and especially in the US. You know, obviously the medical bills and everything must be horrendous. So a mum is in this kind of vulnerable position. Of course, the rest of the family have to rally around and support her. And Johnny saying, you know, her seeing you happy is enough for her. And I'm like, actually, though, it's not really, is it? I know you're trying to play. You've got your book of fucking cliches there. You're trying to say the most romantic thing as if you're on a fucking movie set or something. But actually, she can't fucking eat seeing you happy, can she? She can't like pay the bills, pay the electricity, pay the gas, pay all these things on seeing you happy. So I just thought he trivialized that. And again, sorry to bring in real world things into this bubble of Love Island, but I just thought, oh, fuck off, Johnny. You are so full of shit. And you're just saying all the things that you think will just come across well on the camera.
Of course it is, Dave. You're so right. I absolutely Respect. I mean, look, we're lucky in the UK. We have the National Health. I know it gets a proper drumming and it's been right under the cosh, as most medical establishments have around the world because of the COVID pandemic. But we are lucky that we pay through our taxes for the National Health. So we don't have to have insurance. My sister lives up in Vancouver, one of my sisters. And luckily, through her and her husband's job, they've got medical insurance. But there's plenty of people, Dave, who haven't. And the bills are astronomical, aren't they? So something like that. And she's been so real about it. And it's almost just doing like a yeah, all right, cool, yeah, all right, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, whatever. It's like he is not interested one bit, and the sort of stuff that she's revealing. They may have already had this conversation, but we've never seen it on screen. But that's the sort of stuff he's going to have to contend with if he is genuinely going to create a life with her, even for a few months or whatever. Her mum is the most important thing in her life, Dave, and he might not like that because she's going to come first.
mm,
So from what she's saying, anyway, obviously we don't know the full concept of the support bubble she's got and all that, but that is there. And in a real life situation, Johnny is going to be fucking looking for another Mercedes. I guarantee it. I'd be amazed if they're still together.
yeah. I tell you what, though, Chris, you were saying the other day that you're the annoying C next Tuesday that's up and bubbly in the morning. I tell you what, I thought Justine was going to beat her ass to the ground. That'd be you, wouldn't it?
I was
Uh,
laughing my head off.
if you do get your audition passed through somehow, can you imagine that? You snuck into the villa. Hey, come on, get up. Ding, 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 ding. Fuck off.
We've got an eviction. It's 4 a.m. Fuck off, Chris. Nobody cares. Leave us alone. I tell you what, though, Dave, and I'll tell you a quick story. Actually, we're going away in a few weeks, right? And we're actually got afternoon flights if everything goes according to plan, and we can actually travel. But when we normally go away, we go to Spain most of the time. Obviously, I love Vegas. We were at New York at Christmas, and I love America, but when we go to Spain, we always get the early morning flight, Dave, the 20 past six, half six flight. So that means we live local to Manchester Airport and we've got to be up about half two, 3 o'clock. Well, Chris here, who's up every day, half three, four, I sleep downstairs, Dave, because I'm like, I'll sleep downstairs. I'll get up about two, have about 3 or 4 hours sleep, mull around, make the girls a brew and stuff, and go upstairs. And what do I do? This is God's honest truth, Dave. This has gone on now for nigh on 10 years. And I play a song full blast for both of them to wake up to. And it's usually Cliff Richards, we're going on a holiday. The Chichiwa song, Chichiwa, Chichiwa, that comes on. Madonna, Holiday. I play one of them songs absolutely full blast while they're both asleep on the top of the stairs. And I open the door. They go fucking mental. And I'm there fully dressed, dancing away. And obviously, you've seen me dance, Dave. I'm just fucking wooden as they come. They go fucking mental, the pair of them, Dave. I'm telling you, they hate it. And the night before, they're like, don't you be fucking coming in. Because I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I'm up like, oh my God, we've got to go. We have to get to the airport like an hour earlier than we should do, Dave. And then we're like in the fucking terminal for 2 hours before the flight and they go mental. And I'm like, no, you've got to get there just to get, they hate me, Dave. So that sort of morning ritual that Sally did translates perfectly to me because that is me 101, the most annoying person in the world. I may have met my match with Sally though, Dave.
Yeah, I think so, but I think I'd give you a pass if you were going on holiday. This is just a regular day. When you're going on holiday, I struggle to sleep. I'm a bit like yourself, even before Christmas, even now, Chris, I struggle to get sleep. I'm like,
Has it
oh,
been?
has he been? Oh, it's me. Wait, wait. So yeah, so no, I'll let you off on the holiday one.
Oh,
But
thank you.
hey, I tell you what did you reckon to Lakin though when she had a bit of a chat with Carrington? Again, he's got that arrogant power position, I think. But she gave him fucking both barrels, didn't she?
Yeah, fair dues to her, Dave. As much as I've just called her out with Bennett being absolute bullshit from China, she's right. What she did, she's absolutely right. He completely played her and took her down an alley where possibly could have been pursuing it with somebody else. And it was just Carrington being Carrington. And I know our good friend Terence supports Carrington, Dave, but I tell you now, I think we may be having Terence give us some both barrels after we talk about the game in a minute, because we're not the only ones.
I must admit, I quite enjoyed tearing some strips off him there. And he just didn't know. I get the impression he's not had that done to him that often. He's generally when he's pre the villa, but he's gone from relationship to relationship and never looked back. And so, for someone to give him both barrels like that, he just looked like a told off little schoolboy to me. I really enjoyed it.
Me too. Now, Dave, what about the game? And
Oh,
then I know, we get what the villa thinks. So the most popular girl to the, sorry, there's different categories in there basically.
so I've got them all written down. If you don't want to do it off the top
Dave,
of your
yeah,
head.
can you tell us what they were,
So
Dave, so I can
the
remember?
first one is for the boys to the girls choose the boys. So the first one was most to least fake.
Yeah,
Now, least fake, we got Johnny. Sorry, yeah, we got Caleb.
correct. I agree with that.
And most fake, we got Carrington. Now, what did you reckon to that one?
Well, Dave, I'd say you get a prize for that one because Carrington not only hit the bottom of the rung, Dave, he was literally fucking there at the Golden Raspberries and he got a full fucking clean sweep. And that's from everybody in the villa and everybody in the public, Dave.
But I thought, do you not think it's Johnny? Do you not think Johnny is in with a shout for being the most fake? Because
No,
actually,
Dave.
Carrington, right, in Casa Amor, for all the stick I've given him, right, was he being fake in Casa Amor? I don't think he was. He was being a bit of a douchebag, I thought, and like pretending like he's on fucking holiday and he's 18 or something, completely unattached. Again, that's just something that rubs me up the wrong way. But for me, that is not being fake as such. For me, I'd have voted for Johnny for that one.
I would have said that when he first come back from Casa Amor, despite what Carrington's just been himself. But Johnny's used the L word, Dave, to win Sally back and done the whole
Yeah.
fucking fake James Bond fucking proposal bullshit that we saw. So he'll get points back for that. I'm not saying he's not close to Carrington, but I think there's a reason, Dave, that a lot of the people who watch this TV show are female, David. And my wife thinks the same about Carrington, and I've not said a word to her about what I think about him because she's behind. Well, she knows she's listening to the podcast now, but her assumptions, and that's what I take the yardstick of. Hopefully, what a lot of the ladies listening thinking, she'll just call it as it is, Dave. And I think
Yeah.
we're not far off the thing, but it's a bit of fun. Carrington, to be fair to Carrington, he took it for
He
what it
did
was,
take it
didn't he?
well,
It's
didn't
not
he?
anything serious. He took it on the chin. He got the most votes over anybody and just laughed. He's like, well, I've already got a best friend. And it's like he was taking the piss and stuff out of all the categories. And you know what? Fair dues. I'm going to give him a bit of props for that, Dave. But I will say, Dave, fucking Moira. Now,
I'm supposed to be going through them one by one here.
all right, go again then. Go on, go again. Shall I pretend
Stop
that I
jumping
don't know
around.
what he's doing? Right, carry on, carry on.
So
Did I tell you
best
about my audition
is
yesterday, Dave?
yeah. Has Ariel Vanderberg not got here yet? So
Hi, David. Are you okay?
oh, I just went
Is
all
that good?
gooey then. Um, so right, best boyfriend to worst boyfriend. So best was Caleb, but the girls said Johnny. Now I thought again that was a bit weird. So again, the public obviously haven't forgotten about Johnny, but surely the girls. Well, I guess there's only Laurel in there. I guess who's in Casa Amor, but I guess you got Lakin in there. Surely he can't be the best boyfriend. If the one time Johnny's been tested was in Casa Amor, and he failed. So I,
Yes.
I was I was surprised that the girls said Johnny with that one. And as you said, Carrington, that was another one to his trophy room. He got the worst boyfriend. Do you remember? So we had who do you want as a best friend? So again, they had Caleb. Worst best friend was Bennett. That was a bit harsh, but he's kind of the new guy, isn't he? Now, then we get on to the girls. Right, we will get to Moira, Chris. Best girlfriend to worst girlfriend. So the boys said that the worst girlfriend would be Laurel. What do you reckon to that?
I don't know where that come from.
No.
I don't. I genuinely. I don't know where that come from. I don't. There's got to be stuff going on. This is what I wanted to question as we go through each category, Dave. As you've actually written them down and took the time and effort to do that, I'm not going to bounce around. But I agree. I don't know where that's come from. Laurel seemed really lovely. I know on Twitter, I had a couple of people say about her like she just completely acts dead childish and that. And I'm not saying she doesn't. I think she's had calls to, in some respect, what Carrington's done. However, it's not the end of the world what's happened. And I have not seen that. I was quite shocked. I thought they were going to pick Moira, to be honest, Dave. I was really shocked by that.
Yeah, so I thought it was a weird one. But the vote went for Lakin. So she took a few pelters, didn't she? But obviously being the new one. So we had the next category, Chris. We had most loyal to least loyal. Selly predictably gets most loyal. Definitely agree with that. Least goes to Lakin. Now, to be honest, Chris, I'd have put Moira in that category.
Yeah, me too.
But here's the one where it all goes off, which is where I think you wanted to go. So most two-faced. Actually, this was a bit weird. The boys chose Justine and the least two-faced Moira, and they got it completely the other way around from the public vote. So the public said the most two-faced was Moira and the least was Justine. So what do you reckon to that?
When I watched it, I think that the boys mixed up what the question was. I think they meant the same as the public. Because if you watch Justine, she's like, really? And Caleb's saying like, oh, she's real and all this about his own girlfriend. And I'm thinking, he sounds like you're complimenting her, but you're sending her to the fucking bottom of the shit pile. So I couldn't. And even Justine was perplexed, and Moira was like, "What?" But then as soon as the public said about what I got to say, Dave, and I'm going to get called out on this, obviously, but I've not seen anything from Moira to say that she's really two faced. I've not seen anything horrendous. I didn't get that,
Oh,
but
for fuck's sake, you stole my thunder there.
sorry, go on.
No, because
Have you written that down? Go
no,
on.
no, I've written it down, but I thought, oh, me and Chris are going to see this differently because I thought you'd completely agree. But what I was going to say is, I don't think she's been two-faced. I think she's been very inconsistent and frustrating because she's like, oh, I really like this boy. Oh, I really like this boy. And I said a few weeks ago now that clearly words of affirmation are her love language. And, so as soon as someone says something, flattering of her, she gets all gooey eyed and starts twizzling with her hair and stuff. So I think she's been inconsistent, but I don't know about two faced.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that, but we got the reaction of the fucking season again. Another Oscar-winning performance. It's the way because when she reacts and she gets put on the naughty step and she's bottom of the pile, she's like a little kid. She goes, I don't think I like that." And I'm like, is this like fucking Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy, where she just turns the crying? She was like a 3-year-old child, and I'm like, I don't agree with it. We've just said that, and plenty of other people don't. Why are you even bothered? You've been in there for so long. If you were such a two-faced person, surely you would have got voted out. I know she's manipulated a few situations, but in just purely two-faced, no. However, the fucking Oscar-winning performance, the me, oh my god, why always me situation. Yeah, I was not happy about that. I was just like, this is fake.
Do you think it was fake? Because I don't think it is. I just think she's quite a fragile person. I think, again, I said to you with numerous seasons when we've covered this, Chris, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
She said something like, how can people think they know me when I don't know myself? Or it was some words to that effect. And I thought, this is not the place to sort that shit out on reality TV,
No,
where
it's
you're
not.
walking around half naked and scrutinized all the time. I just, no, I thought, I mean, you've got to feel a tinge of sympathy. I thought it was genuine, the tears. Again, if you think, if words of affirmation are a good thing for her, you'd think they would hurt quite a lot as well. She's just very receptive to what's being said to her. So, and I think I'm going to piss you off even more now. I thought Calvin did all right tonight as well. I mean, the fact that he can't seem to manage getting a straw in his fucking mouth is maybe not his finest hour, but I thought generally, he said some nice things to kind of just calm her down and say, look, no one in here thinks that. So again, I know we've called him out for a few things, but I thought tonight, I thought he did all right.
No, hey, no problem with that, Dave. It actually looks like there possibly could be something there. When they were in the pool together, that seemed quite genuine and he was kissing. And like you say, he was very good at calming her down. So hopefully she gets over this. And what does it matter what people think? She knows herself as a person. If she's a two-faced fucker, then she'll get exposed in real life. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's not like these people hunting her down or doing ridiculous. It's just in the concept of a game. That is it.
No, I sort of hinted at this is what I think as well earlier, Chris. But actually, I think Sally gets away with a lot because she's so bubbly and fun. But when like uh just been talking about Moira, right? So when she was talking about she quite likes Bennett, but Bennett and Kirsten seem to have a bit of a thing at the time.
Yes. Yeah.
She's like egging her on, go on, go down there. Justine as well, saying, go on, go down there. We've seen it in other seasons where people take real offense to that and say, you should have come to speak to me first. No one called her out on that. But as well, Sally a few times has been like, you know, egging them on to split people up essentially. And I just think, for me personally, if I was rating them, I think Sally might score a bit higher there.
It's a good observation that, Dave, because I'd never thought about that at all. I know we've talked about Selly just doing a bit of the old double dealing, but I've always liked the girl, and I still do. I still do, but I think that's a great observation, to be honest.
Yeah, she was saying to Lakin, that her and Carrington seem to have a really good connection, and while he's coupled up with Laurel, I just like I say, sometimes I guess fun people just get away with shit. That's why I
Hmm.
don't get away with anything, Chris. So I'm
And I get
miserable.
away with
See you
loads.
next Tuesday. So I tell you what though, as well, Chris. Sort of side from the getting away from the pool for a second. There was something that jarred with me tonight. I'm fucking on one tonight, aren't I? So when we have our obligatory Caesars promotion, right? We get to see, you can win this, whatever the fuck it was. You can go to a pool party or a beach party or whatever, and you get in these crowds of people. I thought, for Christ's sake, when we're in the middle of a pandemic, when we can't get within a meter of another person who isn't in our house, I thought that was a bit insensitive and a bit shit, really, to show all that. It's like, oh, remember what life was like before.
Honestly, I'm not going to disagree. It's the first thing I saw because I love the way he segues into it, Matt. And he's like, yeah, well, and then it's another Caesar's
Caesars!
promotion. Yeah. I do like that. I like the way it goes from nothing and then all of a sudden it just goes 100 miles an
He's
hour.
like a
But
wind up toy, isn't he?
he is, and it's really good the way he does it to get the promo in that they're on the Caesars property. It's the first thing I saw. I mean, he saw one of the DJs, Paulie D off Jersey Shore. Love Paulie D. He's a massive DJ. He started as a reality TV at Jersey Shore. We watch it all the time, me and Sam. We've watched all of them. We still watch him now. And he's big in Vegas. He's got a residency there, Dave. So he's a massive DJ at the pool parties. First thing I did when I saw 100 people, I'm thinking, what are you actually giving away? A picture of the fucking pool when it was busy? Because not one person's going to be able to fucking socialize like that. You're not going to be able to go in the pool. You certainly can't wear your fucking mask. So, an absolute pointless promo. Whoever sent the promo over to the Love Island producers definitely dropped a bollock there, Dave. It should have just been a picture of the property and, at some, when we get back up and running. Because I know Vegas is open, but it's not open like it was at all, like me and you know. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was a bit weird that. So, but yeah, I did pick up on that. Now, Dave, we've had a couple of, we've had 3 emails. And I tell you what, the audition, you scorned and laughed and was like, what is he doing yesterday? We've had a couple of great responses to it, my friend. So this first one's from our good friend Kelly from Texas. I've been listening to the podcast since season 5 of Love Island UK, and I've even listened as I watch both Australian seasons. Dave's reactions at the end to Grant being the piece of crap that he is just too funny, which it was. It's great. I'm at work listening to today's episodes, and y'all, mostly Chris, are doing your hosting audition, and I'm dying laughing. You all crack me up. Just some thoughts. Justin and Caleb seem genuine and actually have some real conversations. They deserve to win, hands down. Sally is sweet and also seems genuine. Shame she got caught up in Johnny. She deserves better. Lastly, I know it's weird, but I think Calvin is so cute, and Twitter seems to agree. So many posts about Freckles actually having a personality and being attractive. Ha ha. You all are great. Keep doing what you're doing. Indian matchmaking on Netflix may be interesting for you to cover, Kelly. So, Dave, I've watched the start of Indian matchmaking on Netflix, so I'd have to watch it to see if it's what we could cover. But yeah, that's a good shout because we are asking what we're going to cover next, Dave. Now, we've had another email from Charlene Dave, and she's put, "What's next? Hi, guys. I've only just recently found you at the beginning of this season. I'm so grateful that you do your pod daily and almost always say exactly what I'm thinking. I don't, I don't have any friends that watch Love Island, so I have no one to discuss it with. After listening and hearing your frequent references to the UK version, I started watching it on Hulu. I looked for your podcast from season one, but I guess you didn't do them. How about doing them now after this US season is over? I bet I wouldn't be the only one. I bet I wouldn't be the only one to enjoy that. Thanks again from Texas." So, Dave,
Awesome.
two cracking emails, two crackers. And the last email,
Big
Dave.
in
Sorry,
Texas, Chris.
exact, Dave. I've always wanted cowboy boots and a Stetson. I could go for that.
You know, I've been to lots of different states in the US, but not Texas. I do want to get there. I mean, I know it's fucking huge, isn't it? But I do want to get there one day.
They're all moving there, actually, Dave. Like Joe Rogan's repositioned there from California, and that a lot of the comedians in his circle have moved, and a lot of actors now are sort of going down to Texas. You know, when they got these big podcasts and stuff.
Right, right.
It seems to be one of the best states to move to. I don't know if it's a tax break or something, but
What, from
a
all the
lot.
money they make from podcasting? I
You know,
guess
Dave,
Joe
can we have
Rogan
some of
does, but
it?
we
Can we have
fucking
some
don't.
of it? $100 million deal he got with Spotify, Dave. We'd be looking to get a fucking $100, wouldn't we?
Packet of crisps would do me. So
I won't mind something. But anyway, this last one's from Light Trilogy. Please do next recaps of The Bachelorette. It starts on October the 13th in the US, and I have checked that, and it does, Dave. So that's another, just a little brief email about something that someone's suggesting, Dave. That might be more plausible for us, that.
it's not a bad shout, is it?
No,
Not a
it's
bad
not, to
shout
be
at
honest.
all. I mean, I kind of, yeah, The Bachelor, I prefer it when you've got lots of different boys and lots of different girls and you know, because of the dynamics and everything. But no, I think The Bachelorette and timing wise, you should be back from holiday then. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's better than fucking Selling Sunset or Housewives of Cheshire.
Hey, Dave, the OG one that we love, me and Sam. Sam loves Housewives of New York City, but the one we've watched from the start is Housewives of New Jersey, me and Sam. We've watched that religiously. And obviously, through lockdown, we watched 120 episodes of Married to Medicine. I mean, she's basically Housewives of Atlanta, really, where they're all married or to someone who's a doctor or they're doctors themselves. I loved it, and they've just finished filming. I think it's season 8. They've just finished filming because of quarantine. It got stopped, and that. Me and Sam are all over that, Dave. I don't have Hey You for nothing, my friend. And the Kardashians are back as well every week, so
Ugh,
we are there. When they finish, I'm not going to be happy, Dave. We may have to do a commemorative episode of the
dear
podcast.
me. So Chris, just one final thing I've just got to say on Jaleb. So as part of the American vote, we got to see that Caleb and Justine got voted to go to the Hideaway. I thought this was the first time that I've seen Caleb just be filled with actual joy. You know, he's generally quite laid back, isn't he? He's very chilled out. But this is the first time I saw him just genuinely chilled out. We had they were stood up a bit earlier in the episode looking at the waterworks at the Bellagio. And I just think that they're just getting stronger and stronger. I'm still not changing my prediction. I think in the next episode or two, we're going to see the boyfriend and girlfriend thing coming out. And yeah, I don't see any other winners than them.
No, I don't, Dave. And I think the way he talks is so good. He's very grounded. He's grown up, but he still can have fun as well. And I think she's looking for somebody like that, someone who's not immature, Dave. And I think he fits that bill. They both love each other. They pretty much said it. on the episode. Yeah, good luck to them both, I say.
They've said it without saying it, but I think
Yeah.
that they're waiting. This is episode 30. There's 34 episodes, I think, isn't there? So, I think the final's Wednesday night. So, yeah, I think possibly Sunday night, Monday night. That's when we'll get the L word and also the boyfriend and girlfriend.
Just before we go, Devin, I think that's a good point. If I was playing a game and I wanted to win Love Island, perfect time for Mr. Caleb to say he loves Justine in the final 4 and does his little fucking speech at the end and says he loves her. Phone lines go off the hook. Everyone goes away. Fireworks, everything, Dave. They all jump in the Bellagio pool there in the fountains, and everyone, lives happily ever after. That'd be the perfect way for them to win the show, I think.
You reckon? Yeah, I'm forgetting. So that final episode, there's a lot of shot footage, isn't there? And then you
Yeah.
can still vote right up until that last few minutes there. So yeah, you might be right. I think what was the guy Finley?
Yeah.
Did it, didn't he, with the speeches last year? It was sort of emotional wreck. I think it worked for him, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. You might be right then. You might be right. So it might be
Yep.
Wednesday when we see it.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, guys. So if you want to follow us on social media at CD Reality Cast, and obviously get over to our social media and tell me how good my audition was. If you do know executives out there who run Love Island, get in contact with them. I'm leaving Dave behind because he was so cynical in the audition. He just missed his cues. So he can carry on with Ariel, and I'm going to just go it alone. But anyway, if you want to email us and tell me how deluded I am, that's even better. At cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So Dave, I'm not going anywhere, my friend. It's all in jest. I can't do it without you. You know that. I just can't. I've tried. You've tried. We're just together. We're the glue on this, and we love doing it. And it's been a great season. We've got 4 left. Don't worry. I'm not going into another podcast monologue, Dave, of auditions or anything. I'm just saying it's been a great season.
I thought you were going to go into song.
Just the two.
That's exactly the song I was thinking as well. We can make it if we try.
Just the 2 of us.
You and I.
Just the 2 of us. Anyway,
let's finish it there.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye now.